Hey there, it's Leonard here. So welcome to another rundown of me using Clay, building lists using the different kind of list scraping techniques, all the way from list scraping to a list enrichment to building personalized message that really hooks your audience into what you're offering. But before we dive into today's lesson, I just want to break a big myth that I've been hearing all this time, and that is I don't use outbound for my business. So for those who are saying this, the chances are they have been using this for quite some time, but without them even knowing it. One of the examples is if you've ever been to a networking event, even before showing up for the event, you're able to scroll through the list of directory and see who will be there and then choosing those who want to connect with. Some you can even have their phone numbers, but the chances of you really talking to them, maybe out of 10 people that you have saved into your contact, maybe about 6 to 8 people that you have talked to, and then there's this left over 20% to 40% of people that you don't really have time to talk to. One day you happen to have this sales targets or need some cash for your business to keep running, and you have already exhausted your warm contacts. Then here comes the time where you pull up these cold contacts that you want to reach them, maybe have a coffee about how you can work together and create some money out of it. So this is actually outbound as well. So how weird, right? Some businesses say that they don't use outbound at all, but actually they are using it without them knowing it. So that's the myth that I've been hearing all this time. And outbound is not just for people who are starting out and then they have this idea and then they start reaching out to people and they start closing them or start working together. Instead, it's for all kinds of business, from starting out while still growing from 1 to 10k MR, 10k to 100k MR. These people need outbound. And believe it or not, enterprises, they are also using outbound to close more deals for their company and then have more meetings for their SDRs, their BDRs, and close them. So outbound is everywhere and it is used across all kinds of business. So let's start with the use case for small businesses. So for example, I started out as an email copywriter, and it's pretty hard for me to get jobs because I'm not an extrovert and I don't really have a huge business connection when I first started this career, because I was still a student and don't really like to mingle around with business owners. So I literally start out from scratch and I have to engage this kind of cold methods to reach people and have a meeting with them and eventually close them. So some of the things I've used in the past was from job boards. Previously, I was in Copywriting, and I also go on Upwork, which is also a form of outbound. Those people there have already have the intent to hire people. So it's more of a warm outbound. And then finally, we have cold email. So what I've done previously was to focus on a personal development niche, and I went to craft out my Dream 100. So if you don't know what is Dream 100, it's the 100 companies that you will love working with. They have all the criteria that ticks off the checklist that tells you that they are your dream customer. And then people like Jim Quick or Jay Shetty was like at the top of the list. So I started reaching out to these people using cold emails. So what I did was I just went to their site and I copy paste their domain into hunter.io, and then I just got an email from there. So that's the most traditional way, the most manual way of doing outbound, taking domains straight into enrichment tools. So that's one. And if you're a freelancer like me thinking to scale up or to doing hundreds or even thousands of emails per day, and then that's another story, because it's more than just taking domains and then putting onto hunter.io and scraping the leads from there, because there's more work to it, meaning you need to build an email infrastructure to support your outbound campaign. And within email infrastructure, there's so many things that you have to take note of. There's like domain blacklist, SPF, DKIM, DMARC, and all these things. And you have to do all these things for each and every domains that you are handling. And on top of that, you also need to have a really strong email strategy so that every message you send out is personalized and relevant to that recipient. So many of times when we are sending one email, 2 emails, we have this email and then we put onto our Gmail or Outlook. And then before we send, we take a look at it. Oh, there's one mistake here, another mistake in this email, and then you'll change it a little bit. But in outbound, at scale, you can't really do these kind of things, because if you were to do 1 in 5, and then what if you are sending 1,000 and then you'll be doing like 200 in every 1,000, which doesn't really make sense because it's not really scalable. And you might as well just do manual outbound and have some other marketing activities. So that's the thing about running outbound at scale. Is a whole new different ballgame. And when you're scaling, that's where the fun starts, because getting softwares like Clay makes a lot of sense in the long run. Based on the lowest plan that gets you almost everything in Clay, which is $349 per month, makes a lot of sense in that case because of how much money it can help you save and how much leads and meetings it can produce. and everything just start to make a lot of sense. And when you have this kind of software, you have more room for creativity for your go-to-market strategies to build more lists, to reach people using different kind of methods. And then there's like a lot more playbooks for you to play around with, like connecting your RSS feed into Clay using the HTTP API. It's something that you can find in Clay and can't really be found in tools like 𝗪𝗵𝘁 and all these things. So that's one of the benefits. One of the benefits of using Clay is that you now not only can use it for outbound and have different strategies like news-led outbound, inbound-led outbound, but you can also use it for your CRM enrichment. So here's what I mean. For example, you're running an ad campaign through LinkedIn. Then you collect their first name, last name, and LinkedIn URL. So that will literally change the entire game. So how this works is whenever someone fills up this form, you can automatically send them to Clay and run them through an entire automation from having just these 4 data points to get data points like, did they do any fundraising recently? How much did they raise? And who are their investors? Or what are the technologies they're using? What are the posts that they have recently liked or comment on? So there's a lot more you can generate once you get these corner pieces at your front end campaign. So this is what I mean. Clay is not just for outbound, it's applicable for inbound as well. So if you're a business looking to use outbound softwares like Clay, this could be something that you can look out for. So no matter if you're a freelancer looking to run cold email campaign, or you want to take this freelance business to the next level, turn it into an agency, or you're a growing B2B business looking to take to the next level using outbound, feel free to drop a comment below or DM me and I'll send more information on how we can work together. So without further ado, let's dive into today's lesson. So today we'll be breaking down one of the established agencies in United States, Socially Powerful. So after seeing their page, what they do and all the brands that they work with and their case studies, I thought, this might be a pretty great agency for us to break down so that we get a clearer sense of how a proper go-to-market system works in an established agencies. If you're someone like me or helping businesses to build go-to-market systems, helping them with outbound campaigns, try not to work with like businesses without a proven offer, because if the offer is not proven yet, the chances are you're gonna spend more time to work with them with the offer before you can scale. So unless you know that person personally, try not to work with people without a proven offer. So for this agency, a lot of services, video production, commerce agency, and influencer marketing platform, which is, I believe it's their SaaS. But today we are gonna just dive into just one service and one offer. Just like any go-to-market strategy, you should just focus on one offer, one strategy, and penetrate into the market using that one offer, start scaling. So there's a lot of case study here. So let's choose PUBG, generating hype and awareness for the anniversary of global game. 16 million views, 12 million reach, and 120K clicks. So let's dive into Clay right now. So based on our ICP PUBG, which is a computer games development, then okay, we just ignore the company size. Then let's go to United States game development, 1,300. Not a big time, but we are good to go. So let's limit the results to 20 companies. Export for free. So because this ICP is really simple, it's just computer games, and if you want to have more robust systems, maybe I'll talk in another video where we can go into more of which companies have just fundraised or have just acquired by another company and have more funds to really develop their games. But for now, we keep it simple, and since there's not much things to enrich the company, let's go into find people at these companies. Right, so the job title that we want to go after should be something along the marketing managers, because we are running ad campaigns, right? So limit to 20. So the people results here is not that solid, as you can see here. There's like a lot of company names that's repeated, and then even though I chose 20 companies, as you can see that the results is not the best. But what you can do actually is go into companies and then export as CSV, and then after you export as CSV, copy the domains and put onto Apollo. Go under companies. By the way, it's free though. So just go into Apollo companies and then just paste all the companies here and then search. Then just find the job titles that you need. So after that, take the search link, go into export Apollo and then paste the link here and just name your list. Just tell them how many number of contacts that you need, and then you can pay pay as you go. So for 1,000 leads, it's $5. So if you were to take about 5,000, it's about $25, which is pretty great for the amount of leads that they give you. And the data points of these leads is pretty solid from what I've seen so far. That's the better alternative compared to find people from the company table, because Clay doesn't have a really solid find people search yet. But now we're just gonna make do with this. So let's find the work email for this. Let's add more. Okay, so we got 8 out of 10 here. So what we're gonna do next is to craft the message. What you wanna do is to go into description, then find the description, create a column here so that we can enrich. Right, so company mission to write first line, and then let's go to description, apply temp. So we only run if work email is not empty. So we run to 8 out of 10 of them, run 10 rows. So now we have our first line. Then we should go get our subject line as well. Paste our subject line here. So based on our company. So let's change this to based on company domain. Company description. Only run if not empty. Run this, run 10 rows. So this is the simplest way of running outbound campaign. So we just get the company, the people, and then we enrich the people to get their work email. Then we get subject line and the personalized first line. Export your list. So export CSV. Go on to Smartlead and create campaign, and then test. After you have downloaded this, and then put it over here. So subject line, custom field, compliment response, custom field, work email, first name, description. So now we go into campaign, and then so now subject line response, and then hi, first name. So and then you include the personalized first line. So after you got the first line, then now we can go on to crafting the value proposition and the pitch. Based on the website, as you can see, you can get back to the stats right here. 60 million views, 12 million reach, and then 120k clicks. But you really want to target the similar companies so that you can get similar results. Otherwise, maybe if you get a company that just started gaming and then telling them that you can reach 20k leads, it doesn't really make sense for them, right? So you really want to follow closely to or the ICP that you are reaching here. So the formula that I've always used is if I can get you certain results and the value proposition plus social proof, would you be interested to speaking? So that's the most basic formula that I'm using right now to test the propositions before I start scaling my campaigns. Some of the results that we can say here is if it can get you 2 to 3 million views on your latest game and reduce your CPC by 30 to 50% without hiring expensive agencies, would you be interested in speaking? Sign off. Something like this. After you have crafted this, and then you can go on to the next step. Then email, maybe 4 days. They can insert some more information or case studies to show them that you are actually legit. The final review. So now you can see the things coming out. So if you realize there's like a gap over here, so you can go back to sequence and then to cut out the gap, then save changes. The final review. So all the gaps are closed now. So that's it when it comes to building a list with Clay, and then from finding companies to finding people to enriching people and to crafting a personalized message using the AI function in Clay. These are the simple steps that you should take before you start scaling your campaign. So if you find this valuable, click on the subscribe button below. If you have any questions, just feel free to comment below or in any of my or social platform. I'm pretty active in almost all of them. So that's it for now. I'll catch you guys the next one. See you.